Hey there everybody, welcome to Neverwinter. We're going to be looking today at the Barbarian's power setups for AoE and single target, so let's get right into it. First things first, with our power setup, we are going to be looking at our feats. We're going to be going for Relentless Speed that combines with your Relentless Slash, allowing your not so fast to come off of cooldown early, every now and again, and casting it for free. Over here we've got Blood Spiller or Indomitable Rage. Now personally I would have gone for Indomitable Rage, just in case I needed to add a little bit of single target damage into my rotation, removing Battle Storm. But this is pure AoE right now, so we don't need to have much single target. If I had the retrain tokens or the Astral Diamonds for it, I would go and change my power here to my feat to Brutal Critical, just obviously helping out with your rage a bit. Steel Slam combines nicely with your Avalanche of Steel. Avalanche of Steel doing 1400 magnitude, and Steel Slam doing a damage over time and a slow effect after the fact. And Relentless Battle Rage, just getting your rage back really quickly, because in AoE you're not going to have lots of time to get it back to gain this bonus down here. You're going to be going into your aggro, getting your rage as quickly as possible, do as much damage as possible, and getting out of there. They will realistically die in most content relatively quickly. Here we got Steel Blitz. Steel Blitz, your at-will attacks now have a 20% chance to deal to hit the target twice, helping rage, helping with damage. Also helping with your Relentless Slash, combined with your Relentless Speed feat to get your not so fast more often. And then Raging Strikes. When you rage, you're going to gain an extra 15%. This kind of just balances out this power here, giving you your battle rage. Over here for single target we have Crescendo, and for AoE we have Avalanche of Steel. We have got Roar in our encounter power place in our X to gain to generate rage for enemies that are in front of you. That's a nice little range on it, but you want to be as close to enemies as possible. Not so fast for your AoE hits. That's going to be kind of your bread and butter. And your Axe Storm for your range. It's got a good range, good radius, and it's just a big line of damage in front of you. It doesn't trigger very often. Some people will use Indomitable Battle Strike to give them that a little bit more single target, along with the feat, which brings up to 1200 magnitude and maximum rage. But Axe Storm obviously doing more damage to AoE than Indomitable would. Mighty Leap is also an option. I don't particularly like it, because Mighty Leap you have to target with it. But it's up to you between Axe Storm and Mighty Leap. Relentless Slash, you can animation cancel it to get your rage back even quicker, giving you a 5% increase to your damage dealt. And Brash Strikes for that one enemy that's standing left, doing 140 magnitude damage. Beautiful hits. We're going to go over to our group of ads here. And we're going to start off just by looking at how we're going to enter combat. So we're going to start off with Rage. I'm going to start off with Roar, and you're going to see how effective Roar is at building up our Rage. One Roar, 50%. We could go into Rage here, but we're going to use a not so fast, almost full, good enough for me, and then use my Axe Storm and start using my at-wills until it goes down again, using my Roar, my not so fast, and my mere rage, not so fast triggered again. And if you see, all I'm doing is standing here hitting with my at-wills and using my counter powers when they come off cooldown. Roar to get my action points almost back up. Relentless Slash, they're full, and I can go again. And this is a really effective way to fight. The Roar giving you tons of regeneration on that rage. Roar, oh, I'm almost at full, and I can go straight into my encounter powers again. Now, if you see what I'm doing here, I'm actually animation cancelling my at-will. Move over here for you. So, this is the normal at-will. And when you click down on the left stick at the right time, you hit a bit more often and gain that rage back that little bit quicker. Just like that. And that's your AoE power. It's pretty good. It's pretty powerful. And it's pretty simple. You're going to run into combat. If you don't have any rage, you're going to roar. Not so fast. Rage. And then use your Axe Storm. And just use your at-wills until your Not So Fast comes off cooldown, as you see there. And then enter back into Roar, but enter back into Rage, and just keep spamming. You can spam a lot of hits with this, especially if you're animation cancelling. We're going to have a little look at our daily power, Avalanche of Steel. You leap into the air, big AoE. I'm going to put down the feat that gives us the damage over time afterwards. And as you see here, you'll see it proccing damage over time and a slowed effect on the targets. Very, very nice. And just like this. So as you see here, Barbarian single target is very, very potent. The only issue obviously being your range is very, very low. So you have to be right in the thick of it, hitting those enemies and dealing that damage. Excellent. Right, let's move on to single target. As you see here, single target is a little bit different. That's not single target, sorry. This one here is single target. Now, you're going to want usually a different loadout because this feat here changes. You can obviously just, keep the feats the same and change your powers by pressing the Y button and using different power setups. However, that's not personally what I end up doing. I end up just keeping it and switching between the powers on this one because these two are massive in difference. Relentless Slash combined with your Not So Fast and your Relentless, your Relentless Speed combined with your Relentless Slash to give you your Not So Fast. This is actually for regenerating your rage. It's not for doing damage, it's for regenerating your rage. The faster you get your rage, the more encounter powers you get, the more rage you get, and so on. You'll be doing your Indomitable Rage. That'll go with your Indomitable Battle Strike. And down here you'll be doing your Brutal Critical, your Steel Slam, that goes with your big AoE Avalanche of Steel, which sometimes I will use when we are in a particularly difficult section where we need to clear ads. And over here we've got Escalating Rage. So our rage comes back a little bit slower, but we have rage for longer and escalating my damage that rage will do. Steel Blitz, obviously to get back your rage quicker, but also to hit the target multiple times to get your Not So Fast back quicker. And Trample the Fallen, increasing your damage and increasing the damage that target takes. This is brilliant. This is just going to be a nice steady 10% damage overall increase. Crescendo for the daily power. You can animation cancel this. I personally don't. I don't like it. It sometimes doesn't work. It's a bit clunky, so I personally just leave it. And then you got your Not So Fast, your Indomitable Battle Strike for the 800 to 1200 magnitude damage, and your Frenzy for your 1275 magnitude damage. Up here you have your Relentless Slash and you have your Brash Strike, using your Brash Strike when you have got your rage full. So we'll go over to our boss dummy. And I'm actually going to use this boss dummy. So interesting enough, when I use my daily on this boss dummy here, this guy, it instantly kills the Barbarian. And I'll show you that at the end. It's a little bit of fun. Cool. So, go into combat. I've got no rage at all. So, obviously I'm going to start using my strikes. And I'm going to be using my Not So Fast when it comes off. And that just helps with that little bit of regeneration of rage. I'll go into rage. I'll use my encounter powers. And then I'll use my Brash Strike until my encounters come off cooldown. And they're off cooldown. I'll use that one. I might squeeze this one in. And then back to my Not So Fast rotation. If you look, I'm trying not to use the other encounter powers outside of Rage because Rage increases your damage so much you want to keep them as much as possible. It's not triggering. I don't know what's happening there with my Not So Fast, but it's not working properly. So we'll go again. Relentless Slash. Got my Not So Fast again. Not So Fast again. Just animation cancelling that at will to get my rage back that a little bit quicker. And Not So Fast to finish off. Rage. And then my other encounter powers. And then into my my Brash Strikes. And that's going to be your rotation. Now what I'll do is I'll show you the rotation with artifacts, Tactician's Precision and my Cavalry's Haste. Perfect. And then after that, I will show you the rotation without them, which is also very, very simple. You lose out a little bit of damage, but it's not the end of the world. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my rage up. I want to make sure I have my rage ready to go and use when I need to. I'll drop my artifact, do my rage, and then I'll do my 3 encounters, or 4 if that one pops again. I'll use my crescendo daily. I'll use my mount item, and I will use my next 3 encounter powers, and that should be, yeah, just over 10 seconds on that artifact call, but that's about an artifact call right there. Excellent. Now, if I take these off, because not everybody's going to have these, you'll see that you can still get a pretty decent rotation, even though, let me get some action points. You can still get a decent rotation, even though you don't have it. You're just missing out on a few encounter powers, but it's not the end of the world. So I'll get myself my rage back up, using that not so fast to help me regenerate it. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. And we're almost ready for that artifact call. Quick invoke, because why not? Okay, artifact call. I'll use my rage after my artifact. I'll use my 3 encounter powers. Oh, 4, because it can go off cooldown. Use my daily power. Use my mount power. And then back to my at-wills. And that's all within that 10-second bracket. So as you see, Barbarian is a pretty powerful class. It does a lot of good AoE. You just got to be really, really close. And the single target is actually really, really powerful. Yeah, it outputs a lot of damage, especially a lot of burst damage when you've got tacticians and all that sort of stuff. And to show you what the boss dummy does when I use my daily on this little boss dummy here, as I said, this is what it does. Oh, it didn't do it for once. Trusted to not do it when I try and demonstrate it. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see if I can get it. It's a bit of fun. So I'll act like I'm in an artifact call. Okay, and ready. Here we go. So artifact. Oh, don't even have my artifact ready. Artifact rage. I'll use my 3 encounter powers, and then I'll use my daily. There. That's the glitch. Anyway. Thank you for watching. That was Barbarian, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.